Yeah.
If you're gonna eat Mexican food, you eat it as it is. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to change that to be healthy. Like,
welcome to another episode of Opinionated Off Topic. Off Topic is a show where we talk to entrepreneurs, creatives, business owners alike, and give them a platform to discuss what they do. In today's episode, we have Leslie Vallecillo. Leslie is an online coach, entrepreneur, creative, and a meal prep extraordinaire.
Yeah, okay, no, I think let me take that back. Content creators who
That's funny.
who post Mexican meal preps and stuff to make it healthy and stuff, they're gonna come for me. I support y'all, okay? I support y'all, but yeah, I think that there's
Mexican food at that point.
Nah, like at this point, I'm like, nah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not really like, don't have this, don't have that, don't enjoy this. Like, that's not the way to live. How you gonna live?
Yeah.
You ain't. You know, it's like you have to balance it all. You know, so like if your diet consists 99% or 80% is like whole foods, that 20%. Eat the Mexican food, you know what I mean? Like, I eat. Ask my mom. I go home, I'm grubbing. You know, ain't no limitations.
In today's episode, we not only discuss the challenges of a female in the fitness industry, but also creating a sustainable business, creating engaging content, and telling an engaging story about what she does, and continuing to grow not only the fitness community, but also to not only empower women and other minorities alike. If you guys enjoy this episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Welcome to another episode of Opinionated Off Topic. Today I'm with Leslie. How do you pronounce your last name?
Vallecillo.
I was trying to pronounce it.
Okay, how do you say it?
Vallecillo.
Vallecillo.
The double L's are like a Y.
Okay, gotcha. And then we're with Carlos Mojica. Today we have a lovely guest. Thank you for coming out and getting on the show. I know you're busy, especially just for keeping up with your content, and now you're doing like online coaching, which we'll get into. So I know you're a really busy person, so we greatly appreciate the opportunity to interview you, get to know you more. So without further ado, we'll let Carlos get this thing going. So.
Again, like you said, thank you. Appreciate you taking time out your day. And I appreciate you for letting us be your first podcast.
Yeah,
that means a lot. Yeah, that means a lot. And I hope it goes well for you. I hope we don't scare you too much.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, when you're used to it, you make content, so it's just cameras and conversation. That's all it is. Like, just regular conversation with cameras. Ain't nothing special.
Yeah.
But just give us a little backstory where you came from, so how you got doing what you're doing today.
A bit of backstory. Let's see. How back do you want to go?
As far back as you want to go.
I said, man, that's the sense of birth. Well, so I'm originally from Houston. I think I should start there. So I'm originally from Houston, Texas. I went to A&M, which we talked about a little bit. But upon graduating from college, I moved to Austin, Texas. Got my first full-time job after graduation here. Did that for about a year. And it wasn't a year. It was about 6 months before I got into what I'm doing now, which is obviously social media, content creation, fitness coach and stuff. A lot different from what I used to do. But yeah, I think that's a very, very, very brief summary of what I did, what I used to do, and how I'm here now.
I guess going back a few years, because now you do content creation for, I guess, just athletic or working out. Young days, was that something that you were into just off rip like that, or is that something that like you got later?
Definitely something that I got into later. I think while I was in college and while I was in high school I didn't do absolutely no sort of type of physical activity, which I also mentioned. But I was like almost opposed to it. So I just didn't see the importance. I was like, why? I'm in high school, like, what? I'm trying to survive. Trying to have fun. So high school wasn't really like very active. College is where it kind of hit a little bit because my roommate during that time, she was active during that time. She used to play soccer in high school, and when she went to college, she was my roommate. So she used to work out and stuff. She would always kind of nag at me. She would always be like, hey, trying to work out. I was like, girl, you are crazy. I am not doing that, And I was like, what do you even do when you go to the gym? And she's like, well, I do like abs, and she had her little plan and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it couldn't be me, right? And all I was trying to do was just survive in college. And it wasn't until maybe the second year of college that something just changed, I guess, in a way. When I was raised pretty unhealthy, I would say. But once I went to college, I kind of let everything out the door, and I was like, I'm gonna eat out. I'm gonna eat the things that I was not allowed at home. You know. So during college, I was going to school. I was doing my studies and stuff, but at the same time, I was like eating out all the time, and I was super bloated all the time. But I didn't really pay much attention to it. I was just like, whatever. You know, it is what it is. I'm just built this way. You know. And again, seeing my roommate kind of going to the gym and stuff, I was just like, it came to a point where I was like bloated all the time. I felt tired, fatigued all the time. And like, I didn't want to get up. I used to sleep a lot. Like, it was just like I didn't know it was unhealthy, you know, but I just knew that I just didn't feel good. And so there was a point where I was like, all right, like, I started to change, because obviously as you grow, your body starts to change. And so I was like, I looked at myself and I was like, something ain't adding up, you know, like, you look kind of off, you know, and you feel off. So I think that is whenever I was like, okay, let me see what I can do and change. And so I just decided to start taking initiative then. But I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like, I didn't know what to do, how to do it. But seeing my roommate kind of just go every once in a while, I was like, I'll just go and see what I do, you know?
Yeah.
And it was funny because I came from like absolutely no physical activity to starting to do something, and I was like, man, this is stupid. Like, what am I doing, you know? Like, nah. So I think just as the years kind of just went by after that, I kind of just like, you know, taught myself everything, and then, you know, one thing led to another, one thing led to another. I started feeling less bloated, I started getting more energy, I started to sleep like a reasonable amount, you know, and like, I felt immediately just better. And so I was like, you know, like, this is it, this is the thing that I've been doing wrong. And so after that, I just upkept it, and the more I learned, the more I taught myself, the more I was interested into, you know, health and fitness. And so then upon graduating, I was like, if I taught myself everything, and mind you, like, learning all these things, like, it was super hard, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
But
you have a lot of different people saying different things, like, all right, which one's actually true?
yeah, exactly. So it was just difficult, but then after, you know, after a while, I was like, I can help other people too.
And then you also have to just learn your body too, like you said. Like, something might work for someone else, but when you try it, it doesn't apply to you. Like, everyone has a certain genetic makeup that makes them who they are, and you know, certain things work for some people gain weight faster, some people lose weight faster, some people can't gain weight at all, so like, it all just varies. And some people have to be like way more strict with diets and all that stuff.
I mean, prime example, I don't know if you know him, his name's Chad Johnson, or Chad Ochocinco. He eats McDonald's every single day.
That's wild.
Like, every single day, he'll eat it for breakfast, he loves McDonald's. But he's just got those genes where it just doesn't affect him. Like, he was in the NFL, and he would eat McDonald's, and he would just fast, ripped, strong.
That's
it just
wild.
doesn't affect him. He's just one of those people where just like, naturally, he can do that. But like, me, him, you, like, we can't do that. There's just some people who can, some people who can't. And it's crazy how, like, I don't know how I was thinking about that today, but it's crazy how, like, food affects, like, your whole language of your body, like, how you feel. It's like, everything, like, that's in fast food, I guess, is just so processed. Even if they say it's not, like, I'm sure, like, I had Chick-fil-A this morning for breakfast, but I'm sure they say it's not, but, like, there's still a lot of process in it.
Yeah.
And it just slows you down so much.
That's why, like, with diet and stuff, a lot of people are talking about whole foods, like, you know exactly where this came from, like, you should try to eat that, you know, and like transitioning to that. But I want to go back to when you were in school. What did you end up studying at Texas A&M?
I was studying, originally, I was studying meteorology, so weather, which is nothing related, right, to what I do now. So I was studying weather for about 2 years until I decided to change my major, because it was just like, one, it was still hard, and I realized it was just like, why the hell am I doing this really hard thing that I just don't like? So I made a tough call and decided to change my major to Geographic Information Systems, which is basically GIS. So, in other words, data analysis, essentially. And I ended up leaving my minor as meteorology, and I added a second minor, which was geography. So I ended up doing a lot of coding, a lot of like mapping, cartography, things like that. But nothing related to what I do now, for sure.
Was school like kind of like a strong point for you growing up?
What do you mean by that?
Like, were you always making good grades and like always studying and wanting to like do hard stuff like that?
Absolutely not. No, I did absolutely terrible in college. Like my first year, like I don't know. I just thought I was the baddest bee, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. Like I'm gonna take 19 hours. Like, what is 19 hours? I can do anything. I didn't know what to expect from college either. Like I didn't know how hard it was gonna be. So I took 19 hours. Which is not recommended. No one told me anything. I took 19 hours. And my first year at college, I did absolutely terrible. I almost got kicked out of school. Like I was
academic
probation. Like I was about to get kicked out. I did that. The first year was terrible. The second year was also terrible. And the second year was like, okay, like it's either you're gonna go through these classes, go through academic probation, or we kick you out, And I was like, all right. Like something has to change. And I think not knowing what to expect, it was just hard, and then also not coming from like a privileged household, like everything that I did was on my own. So I was also at the same time taking 19 hours. I didn't have a car either until like my junior year of college. So I was Ubering, and at the same time I had like a part-time job. So I was trying to pay everything for myself, my school, my Ubers, and it just wasn't enough. So I was like joggling through between like this 19 hours, and then at the same time it's like trying to live, survive, like literally survive. So it was not, no.
What's the recommended? Because I didn't know that. So like, what's the
It's like
recommended
16
hours?
12 to 16, and kind of just
Something like that, yeah. Something in between there.
Because like my brother is at Tech right now, and he's taking 12 because he has like a crazy lab, so he's like cutting back.
Yeah.
And just like kind of just managing.
Yeah.
Workload. So when you get into fitness and like you first start working out and your workout journey and all that, what was like the hardest thing about going to the gym and being consistent, especially because you didn't play sports in high school or anything like that, and you never really worked out like that until later on. So like, what was the challenging aspect of just getting started?
I think it's just like not knowing what to do. So like, and getting over the anxiety of like just even showing up. Because like, you walk in and it's like, okay, now what? You don't know how to use anything. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know if what you're doing is right, correct. So you just go, but you feel like you go into the gym and it's like you feel like everybody knows what they're doing. So like even stepping into the gym in general, that's overwhelming. And I think that was like the biggest thing, because it was like months on and off of going and stuff. I was very inconsistent, which is something that I always like talk about on my page. It's like inconsistency is normal, when you start going, because like that's how it was for me. I would go in, maybe do a day. The first few times I didn't even do that. I like walked in, saw everybody else. I was like, yeah, I'm out. Like this is too much. But then as like, you get more used to, seeing the gym, seeing the people, and like making little steps, the more comfortable you become through time, But in regards to being consistent, like you learn as you go. And the more that you learn, the more consistent you can be, because you feel like you have an understanding of what to do and what to expect. But to begin with, I think that was like the biggest thing, was just like getting over the fear of like even showing up. But it's a learning experience for sure.
That's kind of, I guess, where I'm at, like the inconsistent part. Because I played sports from, so it wasn't until after high school when I stopped. The only reason I stopped was because I had a shoulder injury playing baseball. And then after that, I just working regular, just living a normal life, and I just stopped going one because of with my shoulder and tore ligaments, so it was just hard to like do stuff. And then now I'm at a point where like I want to lose weight and I want to get back into it, and then I'll go, and I'll go for like a day, go for 2 days, 3 days. I already make progress, and like we all make an excuse of like why we don't go. So like someone come over, I can't go today.
Right.
And it just goes and goes and goes. I'm like, all right, I get back into it. And that's kind of where I'm at, like struggling to start and then struggling to stay consistent.
Yeah, I think once you get over the phase of like, okay, like you can get yourself to go to the gym, and it's like, okay, I know that I can go now. The first phase is getting there. It's like feeling comfortable with even going, you know, that's the first thing. The second part is, I feel like the second stage, as I call it in my head, is like you trying to be consistent. You already know what to expect, and I'm sure that when you go in there, you know what you're doing ish, you know, kind of. You know, you have an understanding. The second stage is just actually working on consistency, which I think that is when you transition into like being intentional with your time. Because I think that, like you said, like, you know, you're like, oh, something came up, you know, and it's like, if you're intentional with your scheduling and scheduling that time in within your week, those times when somebody's like, hey, can you do this? Or hey, can I do, no. Because you're being intentional with your time, and you have allotted time within your week for those pockets of gym time or workout time. So I think you transition into just more about time management and more like about, again, just being intentional with your pockets of exercise or physical activity, and setting boundaries between you and those around you, and being like, hey, now, like, you're inviting me to go out right now, but I have allotted within my schedule to go do this, and sticking to that plan that you set for yourself in respect to yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Which is hard to do. This is not a skill that like you're just born with, or you're just, you know, it takes time. But I think that's where a lot of people get on.
That was what I was gonna say. Is like that's just the biggest. The skill is being able to be self-disciplined. That's the skill.
Yeah.
That's the skill you have to learn. It's a hard skill to learn in any field that you're trying to learn it in.
100%.
And I have no excuse because mine's in the garage. Like I have a rack in the garage, I have a elliptical in the garage, I have a treadmill inside. Like I have everything.
Right.
If I want to go to the track, the track's even
It's
within
right
walking distance. It's right there. I have a pool right there. Like I don't have an excuse.
Right.
My thing is just like my thing is going. I just can't like go.
There's friction between you and the gym.
Yeah. Me and the gym got a problem.
Yeah, y'all beefing.
We're beefing for sure. So yeah, that's my problem. So like, people that are like me, what do you tell them, or how do you coach them, and like push them to be consistent and like just go?
I think for me, it's just like what I usually tell my clients is just to start small. So like, okay, you can't get to the gym, you know, there's beef between you and the gym, right? Okay, sure. Maybe you don't go to the gym because you have beef with the gym, right? But okay, maybe you hit like 10 squats. You get coffee, I don't know if you drink coffee in the morning, but when you drink your coffee, once you make your coffee, hit 15 squats. Randomly. It gotta be in your PJs, it can be in your athletic clothes, whatever it is that you're wearing, just hit to 15 squats. There is some type of movement that you weren't doing before, and just do that every single day when you grab your coffee, which is weird, right? Because you're like, that's kind of random. But you start to get discipline within that skill of just allotting that 5 to 10 minutes of physical activity to do your 15 squats. You're building that discipline and that skill right there. And then you move on to something else. It's like, okay, I squat for 15 squats, you know, whatever. What's something else that I can do on top of that? And then something else on top of that, you know? And eventually the friction between you and the gym, or you working out, like you'll start to develop that same skill that you're developing there. Maybe instead you don't hit 15 squats anymore. When you get your coffee, you drink your coffee, and then you go hit a workout. Or you at least get into your garage or wherever it's at. And just walk in there. You know? Just walk in there.
Get
your coffee.
Routine too, and that's like a
Yeah, you don't have to hit a whole workout. Literally just make your coffee and walk to the garage and just stand there. And then leave. And just work on that piece by piece. And sometimes I feel like we're going too big. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the garage and do the whole workout.
And I think that's because I don't know, like in my head, it's like I feel like I forgot how to work out. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I've been in so long, and I feel like that's the other problem with like me and other people is like when we feel like we go to the gym, we have to like go all in.
Yeah.
And that's like a misconception. It's like no, you don't have to.
No, you don't have
to. It's weird because I know that, and I'm an ex-athlete, so I know how to work out.
Right. There's friction between you and the gym, and that's what I'm saying. Like you have to build it up piece by piece. There's a big gap between you and getting to the garage to work out.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Hit some squats, and then next thing you know, go hit them squats in the garage. That's your next step, you know? And then just build it up from there piece by piece. That is way better than doing nothing at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it only makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like just build it up through time, piece by piece, and next thing you know, you're probably gonna be hitting some squats, some burpees, some push-ups, like by the time you know it, you know? So it just takes time, but definitely like breaking it down, because there's just like this entity, dark entity between you and like getting there, you know what I mean? And I get it, you know, it's really hard to get there, but once you know, break it apart, you can build it up for sure.
So when you started going to the gym in college, and you started going just not consistently, but like inconsistently, how hard was it for you to learn how to work out correctly?
Ooh. I don't think I really learned until, I think, a year and a half of trial and error. Or 2 years, I would say. I'd say 2 years of trial and error. Like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just going in there just to get it done. You know? What I mean by that was like literally like hitting some ab crunches, toe touches, you know? It's like, oh wow, I'm eating right now, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get slim. No, I was not. But, you know, I think coming from like no physical activity to some physical activity, obviously saw results, you know, because I was doing nothing, you know. So you start doing something and like, but I think that didn't really come around until, like I said, 2 years in. Thanks to social media. I think that's another reason why like I'm into social media in the way that I am now, because I can see how beneficial it was for me.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think that me, like, around the time in which I was starting to get into like working out and stuff, like is around the time where content was like fitness content specifically was starting to like be more popular in a sense. It was like starting to, you know, pop off a bit. Like you saw those like influencers like Liana Ted, like Annalise, like I don't know some other big ones now, but like those were the type of girls that I would see back in the day when I was like barely getting into it. You know, like the KK twins, I think they're also in there. But seeing them, and then like I'm sure, I don't know if they knew what the hell they were doing, you know, back then, but I was like, oh, if they look like that, then I need to do what they're doing, right? So I think it was like during those 2 years, that's whenever I was watching videos like that, and it was like I was trying to teach myself along with watching content like that, you know? Like I said, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know how to set up like a workout schedule for myself or anything like that, but I was just following workouts, you know, from them. And they were doing like some sort of weightlifting, strength training type of, you know? So at that point I was like, okay, I guess I can graduate from the ab crunches and transition over to the strength training and pick up a pair of dumbbells and not be scared, you know?
Yeah.
But
so when you like, you know, watch these people online and then, you know, we're starting to learn not only how to work out, but how to work out properly. And obviously now you make content and stuff like that. When did you decide to start documenting stuff on your own and also being confident enough to do that and record it? Because there's a difference between being confident and like just recording it and posting it, and there's also a difference between posting it to teach and to start educating people. So when was kind of that transition period for you?
When I was in college, I always knew that I wanted to do something relating to either YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I don't know, something about the social channels that I was just like, I want to do that. And I knew that a long time ago. Like when I was like, I don't know, I was like probably like 13, 14. I was creating YouTube videos. What the hell was I talking about? I have no idea. Don't look them up, please don't. It's so embarrassing. I still haven't even walked back to watch my own videos. But I just remember myself always being into like YouTube and content in general. And so I knew when I was in college, I was like, I knew then, and going through my experience, I was like, I want to post stuff, but I just don't know when the right time is. And so I kind of always knew that I had this inclination for it, but I was like, while being in college, I almost got kicked out. Like, you think I was thinking about content then? Hell no, I was like trying to graduate, you know, I was trying to do these things, so I was like, right now it's not the time for me to do something like this. I was like, once I graduate, there's a time and place for everything. And I was like, I have this ambition, I have this thing that I want to do, but it's not the right time yet. The time will come. And so for me, that time was upon graduation. I was like, once I graduate and get this off my plate, then I can start to post and, you know, do whatever I want to do. But I think the confidence aspect of it, I think that's something that's just kind of, I'm very blessed, I say, because I feel like it's already engraved within my personality. Like I already have this very like, I don't really care what people think about me. Like I'm very just like, I'm not scared to be me, you know, and I think I've always had that. So it's like, the confidence aspect of it and creating content, this is something that is just built into my personality. I feel like that has made it super easy for me to just post it without really not saying not care about what other people think, but it's just like not letting other people's opinions of me affect me. So I think just having that sort of confidence, it's just something that was been built with me.
That's good, because that's like one of the hardest parts of
100%.
content creation is all the negative comments that do come with it. And it's
100%.
easy for it to get to someone's mental and she's like, damn.
Especially in especially in the fitness industry.
100%.
Super toxic.
Yeah, like people can be brutal,
Yeah. And another question too is like, how do you differentiate your content in like the fitness industry and social media? Because obviously, like, it's kind of oversaturated in a way.
Right.
Like everything else is, like podcasting is like
Yes.
everything. But how are you differentiating yourself to like really grow and establish your own like audience?
Yeah, I think it's so easy. I think it's so easy. You just have to be yourself. That is what makes you unique within the space. Stop, like people always be like, okay, like, what type of content can I do to like, separate me from the masses? And I'm like, you ain't gotta do all that. You're your own person, I'm my own person, and you're your own person. We're not all the same. And as long as you let that shine through your content and who you are, you're gonna stick out.
Yeah. You have a good content personality too.
Yeah.
Just from like talking to you before camera, you're just very, what's the word I'm looking for? Energized.
Yeah.
You're very good vibe. Like, you already have a good content personality.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm saying, like, and that's why I also say, like, I feel like I'm very blessed because I didn't have to think that hard about, and mind you, it's not to say that I haven't had my moments where I'm like, fuck, like, like, what makes me different, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, am I just copying everybody else? Like, I do have those moments, but then I remember and I'm like, there's only one me, like, and as long as I come across as authentic and real and honest and just be me, it's gonna make me shine through. And it's the reason why I've been so successful doing what I'm doing, I think, for sure.
What's been some of the challenges making stuff for social media that you've gone through?
Definitely, I think the biggest thing that I've like talked about, honestly, all the time, it's just like time management has been the biggest thing. Like I don't know what the heck, like it's just a different beast. Like being your own boss, scheduling your own things, making sure that you're being efficient, but also at the same time not trying to stress yourself out. Because I have very high anxiety, like I'm the queen of anxiety, and it's like when you're busy all the time, it's like how do you balance anxiety, stress, and then also be as efficient as possible? And that's something that that's a skill that I didn't really, I always thought that I was decent at time management. I don't know. Once I graduated from college and I went to my full-time job and then I started content creation, starting content creation made me realize that I have zero skills when it comes to time management. Because it was that has been the hardest thing. It hasn't even been content creation, learning how to edit, none of that. That's the easy part. The hard part has been time management for real, because it's because with social media, it's you have to be consistent. That's the biggest thing. Consistency is everything, right? And it's how do you remain consistent and not burn yourself out, but still be efficient and be as real and as honest, because that, at the end of the day, me being on social media, I'm giving my all to content creation. It's when I show up on my stories, it's I feel like I'm giving 100% of me all the time, and that can be draining, And so it's how do you balance that out? How do you create that balance between exerting your energy and then also have life, your personal life, your relationships, all these different things as well? How do you fulfill all of that and be efficient at everything?
Yeah.
And it was you got to be good at time management for sure.
How many videos do you put out a day?
I put out one.
One?
Just one.
Just
yeah.
one? Okay.
A lot of people always say post 30 times a day.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that.
Well, that's what
I don't know how you do that.
really the only fitness person I know that can do it, at least on top of my head. Well, I guess Nikki left her too. But Bradley Martin, I don't know if you know who Bradley Martin is. But he said on one of the podcasts a few episodes ago, but he said he gets to be posting at least 3 times a day. And That's a lot. But also for the people who are posting 3 times a day have recorded videos,
Yeah,
and backlog all this
background and stuff.
just to upload.
Like Matt posts a lot. Troy, like he posts like 3 times a day. But
Yeah.
you can tell like, which I guess will follow on to my next question. You can tell like his content is very strategic. Like he has like backloaded stuff recording. Like he'll post like an old clip from a pod he was on in between like his training routine, and then in between like this product review or like everything he ate during the Austin Marathon. So I guess for you, since you only post 1 time a day, is your content like specific for each day, or is it just something that you already have like pre-recorded, or do you have like, oh, I gotta post like a meal prep video this day, I gotta post like a workout tutorial this day? Like, how do you go about that?
Going back to the whole like 3 times post per day type of thing, it's, in my opinion, it is quality over quantity. If the type of content, if you feel like you're posting 3 times per day and the content type is like hella good, go for it. But if you're just trying to post just a post, and the posts that you're posting are like kind of mid, why are you doing that? You know, one piece of content a day that is valuable, that has really good information and is helpful, that's all you need. Because again, the biggest thing is just consistency. Frequency, it's a big thing too, but it's all about consistency. So if I'm posting once per day, and that piece of content is like chef's kiss, that's all you need. I've been doing that since I started, and I was able to grow from 0 to wherever I'm at right now by posting once a day. You don't need to be posting 3 times a day, you know?
Yeah.
It's quality over quantity for sure.
Well, the reason I asked that is because you said that in all your videos, you keep it real.
Yes.
And the reason I asked was also like, how do you keep it real by posting that many times, doing that many videos? Because you're recording a lot.
Right.
Even then, once a day, like you're still recording a lot.
Yeah, and going now, answering your question, it's like I well, not necessarily batch create, but I plan out what it is that I want to record a week in advance. So I used to post when I first started, I did used to batch create because I was on my full-time job and I did not have time during my days to like, oh, what am I eating in a day? Like, ain't nobody got time for that. I gotta go get my 8 to 5 job. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get paid. I'm trying to pay rent.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for me to batch create then. Obviously now this is my job. So now I have the time, like literally my everyday is my job, you know? But definitely like I think I plan a week ahead for sure. I do have set days where I post specific things. So I know that every Tuesday it's a workout post. A fact. If you go back, you'll see that every Tuesday it don't miss. It's a workout, you know? Sundays, it's a meal prep video. Every other Sunday. I used to do it every Sunday. Hell no. This is way too much work. It takes me a full day to record those. To record, edit, capture, everything. It's a full day. It's a whole event. Okay, I always say it's a whole event. So I definitely do have like specific days in which I post like the same type of content or style of content. I always like to categorize each day within like a pocket of a type of content per day. So like Mondays for me is usually like a photo dump. Whatever type of pictures you want to post, you know? And that's the thing too, like you need to find the things within your daily, like with things that you normally do and just capture it. You know, you don't have to go out of your way to like, you know, I'm like, okay, let me actually set my tripod up here and then like just record and capture the things during your day. Go about your normal day and just capture the things throughout your day. You know, so on Mondays it's usually like photo dumps. Tuesdays are usually like a workout post. It can be at home, it can be at the gym, it can be whatever. On Wednesdays, usually that's my off day. I literally just post 4 times a week, so not every day. Thursdays, that's a toss-up usually. I'm always like either motivation, some type of help.
Like a miscellaneous.
Yeah, it's a miscellaneous day for sure. Like it's either a random reel with motivation or it's a little quick tip or something. Yeah. And then Friday usually is another picture. Just something to just...
That's kind of how we model too, like just specific things. Like we'll post the pods on Friday and we'll do clips throughout the week of different pods. And try to be better with like different content, like you said, like photos and stuff like that. But no, it's definitely good to have a plan because you want to like kind of program your followers in a way to be like, oh, I know I'm going to get like a workout video
Yes.
on this Tuesday, like every week.
It gives them something to remember you by. It's like, okay, like I know, like if you post workouts every Tuesday, it could be Monday, and your community already knows. It's like, oh damn, I'm waiting for Leslie's workout to drop. You know, it's like this is what I'm going to be doing today. So like giving people a reason to follow you and they know what to expect makes them remember you. You know, and so that is like, it's a really strategic way to go about it for sure.
Yeah. And so it goes into their routine. And they know that Monday, I'm not going to get a Leslie video. I'm going to get, we'll just say a Cam video. But tomorrow, I'm not going to get a Cam video, but I'm going to get a Leslie video. So like, you know what you're looking for.
Exactly.
It just falls into the routine. So I mean, it seems like you love doing this and you love the fitness stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When did you find out that this is what you love to do, and it went from a hobby to like, I want to do this?
I think it was just like, honestly for me, it was just realizing the freedom I had with doing this type of job. Of course, it's about like, you know, the impact that you're making on people, but just as you are, like you also have selfish reasons to do things, right? And for me, it was definitely like, obviously I was on my full-time job and given an opportunity where I can really make an impact with people, like impact people in the way that I was, but at the same time, I get my time for me and be my own boss. Like, I mean, who wouldn't? You know, it's like you're benefiting people, and at the same time, your selfish reasons are being met. So why wouldn't you? So I think it was like definitely like, you know, being in my full-time job, and then once like social media started to pop off for me, I was like, which was very scary to do. At that point, I didn't really have set income or anything like that. Like, I think I was getting most of my income from like brand deals and stuff like that, but that was about it. So I definitely took a leap of faith there. Like, I just quit my full-time job and I was like, we're gonna figure it out. You know, we're gonna figure out how to pay rent. We're gonna make it work. But I think definitely like realizing the freedom that I had within like, you know, being my own boss.
Yeah. And when did you realize you love fitness?
Fitness in general?
Yeah.
I think it's something that just developed over time. Like, I don't think there was like a specific like, oh, this is when I knew that I loved working out and being healthy. I think in general, just like seeing the impact of changing my own lifestyle, being like making better nutritional choices for myself, being active in general, and how that was translating into my career, into how efficient I was every day. You know, like not feeling tired and things like that. I think it was something that just developed over time, and seeing the impact of just taking care of yourself can make within yourself and just like your career and other areas, like literally every other area of your life, how it just makes it better. I was like, damn, how did she leave on this? You know? So like it was definitely like, it's just been a gradual thing.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't a definite.
What's been like the hardest part of like monetizing your content in the fitness industry?
Finding that stable source of income.
Yeah.
Like it has been like, when I quit my full-time job, like I said, I was like, you know what, screw it. Like I didn't have anything lined up, and I was just relying on like brand deals here and there. And I was like, I had this idea that if I had millions and millions of followers, that Instagram and TikTok was just gonna compensate me in some way. Psych. That was not the case. I got like 1 cent from TikTok per million views, and Instagram, it was the exact same way. And so I quickly came to realize that you're gonna have to build, like, the platforms are there to build a community to sell something to. The platforms themselves are not gonna give you money. So it was like, that was a hard realization, because I thought that the more followers, the more you grew, the more income you would get. Hell no. So it was definitely like just building something for yourself has been the hardest part, for sure. So I was relying on brand deals for a while, but then after a while I was like, okay, like this isn't gonna work out. I think it was like a month in until that I had quit my full-time job. The funds were very low. I was like, rent coming up and I ain't got no money, you know? And I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do, you know? And thankfully a company reached out to me Linus, I'm gonna give them a shout out Linus, because they literally saved my life. But they reached out to me and they were like, hey, like, we see the type of content that you post, like, would you like to start your own business? You know, we'll let you use like our platform and stuff, and you can start your own business with us, you know? And I was like super scared at first. I was like, I don't know if this is a scam or what type of, you know, I mean, I know what to expect, but definitely took the leap of faith, decided to go through with them. And I was able to build my own business, which online coaching business. So that's how that came to be.
Gotcha.
I was going to ask what the company was, but it's online coaching.
Yeah, it's online coaching. So basically the way that Linus works is that they provide you with a platform to provide your coaching services
Nice.
on. So it makes it super easy to like get clients and kind of scale, which is something that I didn't know what to expect. I was just like, you know what? I just know I need to build something for myself because I need to pay rent. So I just decided to take the leap of faith, and definitely like I was able to scale like in ways that I just never thought.
Like, I log on and there's a page of coaches, and you just kind of see who you like. Is that how does it work?
So the way that it works is essentially like it's very, very, very personalized. And I do think that it is worth every single penny, honestly. The reason why I say is because I feel like most apps and stuff, like it's very like you said, like it's like, oh, you pick a coach and then you have the classes and then maybe there's a nutrition portion and blah, 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 right? This is very personalized. Like you get your own personalized app. So if I'm your coach, right, I'm like, okay, here is your app. And within that app, you have literally like your personalized nutrition plan that is made for you. So with your macros, your calories, it has recipes in there so that you're not having to track anything, right? And you're like, hey, Liz, honestly, I don't like what you've given me. I don't like none of that. I'm like, all right, I got it. And I can literally change the recipes for you. You can see where you started. You take progress pictures and stuff every single week. And there's a chat feature within the app itself where we have direct communication one-on-one. So if you at some point you're at the gym or you're like in the morning, you're I don't know, whatever it is, and you're like, hey, I don't really know how to do this or I need help with this, you'll receive a response from me. No one else, from me. So, and also within there, you obviously have your workout plan and stuff, but it's all within just this one app. And like you can have, like, let's say if you're, like you said, you have a garage gym, right? So if you only have a pair of dumbbells or if you have a kettlebell, you have what, elliptical, I think you said? I'm not sure. I can create a workout plan specifically to what you have at home. So literally it's like whatever you tell me, I go based off of that. And I give you the best workout plan for you and your needs and what you have available. And if you're like, Les, I've never worked out in my life, I'm like, okay, then we got to build somewhere. We got to start somewhere. So we start with like a day of workout, maybe 2 days, 3 days. It just depends on your level. But then we just go to there. From there, like we just track your progress.
That's dope.
It's very much personalized.
Each coach has their own set price, or is it like depending on what you want? That's where the price comes in.
Yeah. So the price-wise is based on you and what you want it to be. So I charge my clients whatever it is that I feel like, obviously I feel like is best fit for me. But every coach's price is going to be different.
Gotcha.
Right. But ultimately, any coach that uses the Linus platform, the app is going to look very similar in a way. Right. Obviously, the style of coaching is going to be different from person to person because I obviously have my own workout plans. Somebody else another coach may have a different style of coaching. So it becomes more personalized to the coach, but ultimately the app will look the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, that's fire. I gotta check that app out.
Is that I guess how difficult is that to maintain all that? Because everything's so like specific to each person.
Yeah.
And like, you know, dealing with 10 clients, right? Like I know that's probably super stressful because everyone has different needs and it's all so personalized. So I guess how's the balance been with
Oh, it was
that?
so hard. It was so hard.
Yeah.
It was like so hard. Like I did not I had no experience, doing any sort of type of coaching prior to this. So it's been definitely like a learning curve of just knowing how to help so many people at the same time. But I think that's also one of the benefits, and I'm gonna praise Linus during this whole podcast, just
Absolutely.
because they just make it so easy for like every coach to kind of just like maximize and scale their business without really like I wouldn't say that there's like, I just think that their platform is so easy to use from a coach's perspective. Like it makes it easy to handle 100 clients, 80 clients, 50 clients. It makes it super easy because of the way that the platform is set up. Like you have all your clients within like one tab and you can see everyone's progress. Like you can click into profiles, you can make notes on each client. Like if you can optimize people's macros and stuff according to their goals and stuff. It's just like the app itself or the platform that Linus has, it just makes it really easy to handle clients and just set them up. But I won't lie, at the beginning, because I just wasn't familiar with anything at all. You know, it's like even if the app or the platform is super user friendly, like having no experience at all, it's like it's still hard.
Yeah.
It's still difficult, you know. But I will say that the app makes it, or the Linus platform makes it really easy to use.
Can you request specific coaches? Like, I just met you just now. Man, I just like your energy. I like your vibe.
Right.
And like, I want you as my coach. Can I go on Linus and request you, or is it you still have to fill out everything?
You
and
have
they
to
just kind of pick. I think these will be your best fits.
Yeah. So the way that it works is like there is like Linus doesn't like you don't go to Linus and then you pick your coach. It doesn't work that way. It's like you have to go directly to the coach that you want to work with. So for me, if you want to work with me, that's why like I open up spots every month and stuff. Because that's the only way that you're able to work with me.
Gotcha. So you have like like a link on your Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
And okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So one thing I've been wanting to ask, because I even was going to talk about during your college days, but one thing you kept bringing up and that you keep bringing up is just like your meal prepping, the nutrition side of it.
Right.
How important is that when you're trying to be fit and doing all this fitness stuff?
It's like probably the most important thing. Like it really is. Like the thing that I learned through my own journey was like, no matter how hard you train in the gym or no matter how, like, it don't matter how hard you train in the gym. You know what I mean? Like if you're not supplying your body with the necessary nutrients and foods, like you're not going to see the progress that you want to see. You're going to see some, obviously, like I said, if you're like not moving at all and then you go from not moving at all to some movement, you're going to see obviously some changes. But ultimately, like if you're trying to improve your like mood, your energy, your sleep, like everything, like that starts with diet, you know? So I think that, again, it's just like something based on my own journey that I came to realize that like nutrition is just everything. But it's not just like about eating food. It's about the quality of the food that you're eating. You know, like you mentioned the dude that eats, you know, McDonald's every single day. I'm like, that's crazy because people think calories are just calories, but calories are not just calories. It's the quality of the calories that matter most. Because maybe you won't feel that now, but I ask myself, what about when you're like 70 and 80? I'm sure that that's going to catch up to you, you know? So...
The thing is what? Ocho against science or Ocho versus science?
Ocho versus science,
So it's called Ocho versus science.
Yeah. But I think too, like, going into kind of like your meal prep and all that stuff, like how did you curate meals that are not only healthy, but like nutritious? Because for most people, you know, the typical like meal is like chicken and rice. For people who want to start getting into losing weight or fitness.
I need some chicken with some white rice and some broccoli.
You know,
that's like
seasoning.
that's like the typical.
That's me.
Yeah, but
I feel that.
How did you like curate stuff to not only eat you know, nutritious foods and good foods, but also to not get burnt out eating like the same thing? Like how did you develop that knowledge, I guess?
Yeah, so I like when I first started, I think we all start that way. Honestly, it's just like the typical chicken, rice, and veggies. You know, that's what you eat. You know, that's just the standard, and that's literally what I ate because that's all I knew what to do. You know, but there comes a point where like you're like, okay, dude, like, am I really gonna be eating this for the rest of my life?
There's got to be something better.
It gotta be something better than this, you know? So it comes a point where you're like, all right, dude, like I cannot be eating this every single day. And so that point came to me. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm burnt out. Like, I'm not trying to eat this chicken no more. Like, I'm gagging looking at it, you know? So I was like, what else can I do? Okay, chicken, rice, and veggies. What can you do to this chicken, rice, and veggies to make it different, you know, in some way? And so it's like, okay, well, what if I had a little different type of sauce, like you said, adding some sauce, right? Different type of sauce, maybe the rice, maybe you cook it with some, I don't know, you put some little leaves on there, you know, I don't know, get creative, you know, with it. And I think that just changing things slowly like that, and I was like, okay, oh, this tastes better this week, you know, and just going week by week after that, it was like, damn, I was like, okay, my meal prep can taste better. Wow, you know? And so I think just week by week, it was just like experimenting with different things. And I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, there were some weeks where I like, what up, you know? And I was like, ooh, you know, like, this ain't it, you know? But you learned, you know? And so definitely it was like a test and trial thing. But the more that you like hit the spot, you know, it's like those weeks that you like experimented and it would go right. And then you would eat that for the rest of the week. You're like, damn, you know, like I can really eat this for probably 2 weeks. Yeah. And then just feeling that, it was like, okay, well, like, what else can I do? And then what else can I do? And then what else can I do? And then next thing you know, it's like I'm over here like being a little chef, you know, with my little meal preps. But
yeah, I was too, because I'd commented on one of your videos, the one where you had the Tupperware and you like you threw like 5 or 6 of them,
oh
and I was just like,
yes.
I like rewatched that like 6 times. Like, damn, this is kind of fire. Like, it was just like entertaining. Yeah, it was just like entertaining. So, what, like, how did you develop your meal prep style? Because I like watching people like meal prep. Like, there's this one guy that lives in Europe, and he like will pour like Hennessy and like. He's like
some random
just
stuff.
crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Just crazy stuff. And then he'll start the video. So how did you like develop your own style and make it engaging for someone to watch?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I definitely got inspiration from like other content creators as well. But I think there was a time period where like the thing was to just do something outrageous for the first like 3 seconds of the video. For what reason? I know why, because it catches people's attention. But at that time I was like, that's funny. And it made me watch the rest of the video. And so like I would see like there's this one dude, and I wish I could remember his name, but he used to do that. He used to either throw meal prep containers, punch them. Like it was some weird stuff, or he would grab plates and just toss them. Like it was just so random. And I would laugh every time. And I was like, that's hilarious. I don't know why he does that, but that's funny. And so I was like, well, why don't you just like toss random shit, you know? And so it was just like one day I was like, you know what? I'm just going to toss these meal prep containers at somebody being the camera. And the first time that I did it, it was like, you know, I remember the first meal prep that I posted on TikTok. It was on TikTok that I posted it. It went viral. And I was like, so it works, you know, it works. And so I started to do it for every single video. And it's something that kind of just stuck for sure. When it comes to the rest of the video, like the cuts and scenes and stuff, I definitely got that from inspiration from somebody else as well. But it's something that the style that you see now is definitely like improvements of every past video that I've posted. Like I look at it and I'm like, okay, that's kind of boring. That's kind of corny. Probably wouldn't do that again, you know? And so you kind of learn and you tweak, you know? And so you kind of just find your style as like you obviously put out more content. But I'm not going to sit here, like I said, and sit here and lie and say, yeah, I created that tossing or whatever. I can't say that, you know, because I definitely got inspiration from other people.
But the thing is, inspiration from other people. So
exactly.
It's all a revolving
It's a whole
door.
thing, man.
It's all a revolving door.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
Nobody is creating new content these days.
Yeah,
it's
honestly.
You grab it from somebody else and put your own twist to it. I mean, I've always said that. Like everybody, there's like, I just thought about that. But the flag signing thing, I got that from somebody else. He used to have people sign a Polaroid and he would stick them on the wall. And I was like, why don't we have these people sign the flag and take a picture in front of the flag? Like, it's the same idea, but just in a different way. Everybody gets ideas from everybody.
Honestly, yeah. I think as long as you're not like copy pasting.
Yeah.
Like, all right, dude.
Like identical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, all right, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I know what you're doing.
No, for sure.
I know what you did, you know,
Yeah.
and that's not nice. I don't think that's cool. Definitely like getting some sort of inspiration from other content creators is definitely the way to do it. But it's always just trying to find a way in making it unique to you, you know? I don't think there's a problem with that. Like I said, as long as it's not copy paste.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, dude. Like, I'll be seeing some people out there. I'm like, I know what you did. I know where you got
I ain't
that
gonna
from.
say it, but I know what you did.
Yeah, I know what you did.
And you also have a meal prep cookbook that I saw as
Yeah.
well. So like, what was the steps on making a cookbook? Because
Goddamn.
I'm sure you gotta pick your best like recipes to like
God.
put in there.
Yeah.
So like, what was the process of that? Like challenges.
Yeah,
all
so
that, all
so
that.
one of the biggest things that always came across one of the biggest comments that I got all the time last year was just like, do you have your recipes somewhere? You know, and I was like, no, you know, because I was like still trying to survive. I was like, y'all, like, I get it, like y'all want the recipes, but like there's one me, you know. So I was like, I can't do this. I can't do it all. But I knew that the demand was there for the recipes somewhere in some type of format. And I was like, I don't know how to, like, do I make a website? But in order to get a website, you would have to hire somebody to do the website, you know? And I was like, I'm trying to do this on my own because I'd be thinking I'm Superwoman. I can do everything myself. Please. So I was like, okay, like I'm not trying to hire someone to create a website with the recipes. So I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I can create a cookbook. You know, I can do it. And so there came a point where things kind of started to slow down because I started my online coaching in June of last year. So that was like super new. And I was like, I wasn't trying to do online coaching and then release a cookbook. Like, just didn't make sense because I'm trying to survive. So it came down in the year, like September, October. I was like, okay, I think it's about that time. You know, it's about that time to release a cookbook. And I really just thought it was going to be a walk around the block. Like, I was like, you know what? How hard can it be? I did this in college. I can write papers. I can put some recipes on a Google Doc and call it a day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did the same thing. So I underestimated the project for sure. And I planned to release the cookbook on Christmas, but that was not the case. It did not work out that way. I kind of did everything in 2 weeks, which is crazy to do because you're thinking about recipes, content, picking out the best recipes. How do you do that? You know, like, how do you go about picking out the best recipes? It's not even just that, but the format of the recipes. Because I'm hella ghetto on my platform. I'm like, yeah, and then you just add some salt and, you know, add a little dash of pepper, you know, like get creative, you know.
Yeah.
For a cookbook, it's very like, you know.
Tablespoon of
Yeah,
this.
one
To the
tablespoon of,
tea.
to the tea.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, I think I'm just going to copy paste these on the Google Doc. Yeah, no thanks. No, it don't work that way. So I was having to figure out measurements and words and, okay, how do I say this? How do I say, just tantele, like just add some salt in there until it tastes good, like how do I say that?
Some of the best meals come from, all right, let me just add a little bit more of this.
Yeah, like you just kind of just eyeball it,
Yeah, and everyone likes their stuff a certain way.
Some
Yes.
people like not that much sauce, some people like more salt.
Dude, it was
some people
insane.
like more sauce, and some people don't like salt. It's
just things like that, like I said, I underestimated, And so Christmas came around and I was like, y'all, I'm not going to have this cookbook ready. Like, I just ain't. So I had to push it to New Year's. And I didn't end up finishing the cookbook until 5 minutes before release drop. It was insane. I was sleep deprived for like 3 days. I stayed up. I was like, dude, I have to finish
Did you
this because
celebrate New Year's?
Huh?
Did you even celebrate New Year's?
I was hella sleep deprived for sure, but not really. Like, I was tired. I wanted to sleep. Like, it was insane. I was like, dude, honestly, screw this New Year's. I'm trying to sleep. Like, it's 2024. Like, I'm just trying to chill. Like, this is a lot, y'all. Like, yeah, I definitely underestimated it. But after I released it, I was so thankful that I did. Like, I created a whole different source of revenue that I just didn't, like, it has performed so well that I just, like, I didn't expect it to do as well as it has done. But releasing a digital product, I mean, that's, it literally opens your, like,
Especially because, like, you have your platform that you built up. So, like you were saying earlier, like, building up your followers on the platform to sell that product to. And then once you're able to do that and you're seeing, like, whoa, like, this can really, like, be life-changing,
it literally only opens the doors to so many other, like, other thoughts, other projects that you could potentially, like, drop. Like, I mean, the possibilities are endless. Once you have a platform, Like the possibilities are literally endless. You can create so many digital products. You can create courses. You can create all different types of stuff if you have the community there, you know? So I think that's at the point that I'm at now. And I'm like, okay, so what's next, you know? But it definitely was a learning experience, but the best thing I could have done for sure.
What's next is people like me have a bad sweet tooth. It's bad. Like I always just want something sweet.
Yeah.
So like, do you ever create baking stuff that is like healthier options and like going to the kitchen getting some Oreos real quick?
I definitely don't like that. That's actually like very common. People always ask me, they're like, oh, what snacks do you eat? You know, and I'm gonna be real honest with you. I don't be eating snacks. I wish I did because I know that the demand is there, but I just genuinely like, I just don't like. The most snack that I'll eat is probably like some fruit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I'm
the
not gonna
same
sit
way.
here and lie because I know my mom's gonna come for me. Like when I go, like no, mama always be talking so much mess about me. She swears. But like for example, when I go home, when I go to Houston and stuff, like boy, I am snacking. Like
There's
it's
nothing
like
like that home cooking.
rules don't apply when I'm home. Like
Yeah.
I'm like there's this panaderia like that I go to a lot in Houston, and my mom always be laughing at me because every time we go, I'm like getting conchas and all this different type of stuff. I don't know if you ever had a concha, but if you haven't,
Those are good.
you need to get on it
Yeah,
ASAP.
those are
I need to
good.
try
They're
one.
so good, man. And like it's like every time we go there to that panaderia, like I'm getting like conchas, like hojarascas, all different types of stuff. And I get home and I'm munching. You know, my mom's like, mírala, mírala, mírala. She's like, oh, the fitness and fitness, dude. My mom be coming for my neck. You know. And so when I post on social media and I'm like, yeah, I don't really be snacking, my mom's like, you a damn lie, you know? But I wouldn't say that I like, again, like normally when I'm at home, when I'm here, like I'm not, you know.
That's
so
a
I
vacation.
don't know.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different, you know.
Yeah,
but
it's a vacation. Nice little getaway.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely like if the demand is there, if it's high enough, then maybe, you know, not for myself, but
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
the
clients and
community, for
whatnot,
the
yeah.
for sure.
No.
No.
Oh, my bad. All right. So going into like you'd mentioned earlier, you were talking, you know, like you met Matt through ProMix and like people through ProMix. So and curating brand deals. Obviously, you have a following of over 200,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm sure brands are DMing you, emailing you left and right to work with them on something. How do you go about curating the brand deals that come your way, and like what specific brands do you work with, if you can share?
What do you mean by curate?
So, like, if, for example, if like you have like 6 to 10 brand deals come in, right?
Right.
And then you're like, okay,
Like, how do I pick? How do I
yeah,
choose?
exactly. Like, how do you narrow it down? How do you pick with something that either is gonna benefit you and like continue to build your brand and platform?
Right.
Because someone can offer you, a crazy amount of money, and it's
Oh,
obviously
100%.
hard to turn that down, but it might not be the best fit for you long term.
Yeah.
As well. So it's just stuff like that.
I think it just comes down to like values, morals, honestly, because like I've had like a lot of companies reach out to me, but like, I think that once you're within the fitness space, like, and obviously following other like content creators and stuff, like you get to hear a little bit about different brands and how they treat their content creators, So I've definitely got reached out by certain brands that I'm like, I've heard some stuff and it's like, that don't sit right with me. So I think it gets pretty easy once like you have certain information about certain brands and you know a little bit about the brands. It makes it easier to choose from. But my current affiliations are the brands that I've worked with in the past. I mean, I was associated with, I've worked, honestly, I'm not even going to sit here and lie. Like, I've worked with a couple of brands now that have been pretty big, that are pretty big. I've worked with Able. I've worked with Honor Active once. I worked with Woman's Best, Young LA, which is all like, fitness apparel. And now I'm associated with ProMix, but I've had a lot of companies reach out like Alani New, Legion, Transparent Labs, big competitors for sure.
Yeah.
But I just like, I'm loyal.
For sure.
I'm loyal.
That first person, it's like you took a chance on me.
I
I'm
took
gonna
a chance, but it wasn't even just like the first brand that reached out to me. Like I had been following ProMix for a long time, and like I was a big fan of their supplements when I first started to get into fitness, but I just like never really like didn't know how brands used to work. So like I never really like, I just waited around until somebody was like, hey, you trying to work with us, But that wasn't the case for ProMix, because that's the one that I currently am associated with is ProMix. I absolutely love them, which they're changing right now. Lots of exciting things.
Yeah, I saw that post. Yeah.
There's a lot of changes going on.
Yeah, I'm
Very
excited.
exciting. But that brand deal came about because of the Austin Marathon, actually. They were at the expo 2 years ago, I believe, a year ago. I think it was a year ago. They were at the, and I got to meet Devin and Ashley, which is his sister.
Did you meet Albert?
Jacob. Albert, he wasn't there.
Okay.
Ashley, Jacob was there at the booth.
Lit.
And what's her name? Somebody else was there. But essentially, like I didn't know who they were. That was the craziest part, is that I didn't know that Devin was one of the co-founders.
Yeah.
And I didn't know Ashley. I didn't know anyone. Okay. So I went to this expo marathon and I was there and I went to the booth. And at that point, like I was a big fan of ProMix. And I just went up to the booth and I was like, y'all, like, I love y'all's products. Like, I was just confessing my love to Ashley. Like, you should have seen me. I was like in there. I was like, y'all, like, I just got to be real honest with y'all. Like, I just love y'all so much. Like, I love the supplements. Y'all are just so clean. Like, I just love it, And I was just confessing my love, not knowing that Devin was right there, that this is Ashley, which is Devin's sister. That's Jacob. I didn't know. So obviously me saying that, they're like, oh, so you a big fan? I said, of course I am. Like, what the heck? And so they started giving me like all this, such a funny story. We always talk about it, but they started giving me all these supplements. They're like, oh, well, here, take this. And it was like pre-workout and like protein. And I was like, I was literally almost crying because I was like, I love ProMix, So I was like definitely fangirling to the max, And so Ashley goes like, hey, like, do you know who this is? And then she calls Devin over, right? And Devin comes over and then he's like, hey, like, I heard that you like the brand or whatever. And I was like, okay, like, who is this man? Like, who's Devin? Like, am I supposed to know who Devin is? And Ashley's like, oh, he's the co-founder. And I was like, look, she's like, he's on this bag. And I literally almost had a heart attack because I was like, am I really confessing my love right now to one of the co-founders? And I thought it was so funny. That story is so funny to me. I was like so embarrassed. And they were like, oh, like, do you post on social media and stuff? And that is when we got introduced. And so that's why I was able to get that partnership and that interaction. I mean, it was the best.
Like organic too.
Yeah, it was very organic. And so like Ashley, after that, she reached out and she was like, hey, like, I love what you post. I love that you love the brand. Like, let's work together. So I think after that, like, I think it just worked out perfectly. It was so like, just aligned. And ever since then, like, I have no complaints about that company. It's one of the best companies like that I've worked with so far.
Is that the same one that makes Super Coffee?
No, they don't make Super Coffee.
They're like associated in a way.
Jimmy and his brother make Super Coffee. Jimmy, do you know his last name? Like,
I don't know his last name.
The CEO. Yeah, they're different.
They're different.
I also met
like
them at the expo.
Kind of work together.
They're like business partners for sure.
Yeah, very tight knit. Like, they help each other with business and stuff.
Yeah.
I just remember like that.
Yeah.
Somebody was talking about Super Coffee.
Yeah. And with Kane, like, all that stuff's kind of affiliated in a way.
They're very much like everybody's kind of integrated in a way.
Like Super Coffee and Kane did a collab. Kane, like, it's like a yellow one. Yeah. So.
Yeah, for sure.
What are some of the big plans you have with working out and with your fitness? Like, who are some dream collaborations, like projects, anything like that moving forward?
In terms of working out and stuff?
Just in general, working out. Like, if you could go work out with someone, like for me, I met Bradley Martin a couple years ago. Like, meeting him, I don't know about working out with him now because he does other content. So I'd rather just like do a pod with him. But just like, who's someone in the space that you'd want to work out with or collab with, and then like, I guess other like dream companies too. Like, we just talked about ProMix, but like, who are some dream brands that you would like love for the opportunity to work with?
I don't know if I've ever really thought about something like that. Like, I think when it comes to what it is that I want to do long term, like it's not just related to fitness and it's not just related to nutrition. I think I'm fall more within like the business aspect of things. So like meeting like different types of CEOs of companies.
And like learning how to do that.
Yeah, I think like right now I feel like I'm tied to like content creation and social media. But I think that my goals like overall is to like build my personal brand, but also build my business
and branch out.
Like branch out. So I think it comes to like, we're talking about like people that I would want to work out. I don't think that's like my thing, but like meeting different types of CEOs. So like, I don't know if you know, like, or if you're familiar with like Diary of the CEO.
That podcast?
Steven?
It's a podcast,
it's
right?
A podcast, yeah. Steven,
that's good.
That man, I love that man. Like, I think that reaching a level to where he's at is like, that to me, it's like aspiring. Like, that's what I want to be at some point.
I feel that's kind of how I am with like these guys named Colin and Samir. They're on YouTube. They like interview like the biggest YouTubers and stuff like that. Like kind of that aspect, like just learning more of like a business aspect and just getting knowledge and being a learner, consumer.
Yeah, I think it's just like more the entrepreneur side of things.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think like, and that's the thing, like, you know, I feel like a lot of influencers that I see online, like kind of let content and social media be the stopping point for them. And it's like, that's not where I want to be. I don't want to be contained within just social media. You know, it's like I want to extend.
Also, as you get older
beyond.
too, like you're not going to be the young poppin'
No, you're
influencer
not.
forever.
You're really
You're going to
not.
have to like do something else.
You're gonna have to figure something else out for yourself. So that's like, I want to be able to, you know, like build my business to the point where I don't have to be the business.
Have you ever? Well, I'm gonna kind of take it back a little bit.
Okay.
You post. You said 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Then you have some you know blank days in there. But have you ever heard of Twitch?
I have.
Have you ever thought of doing like a community workout on Twitch? So like you, because they had, so Twitch used to be just gaming. And
Right.
That's what it used to just be gaming.
Right.
But now it's like
that's the Twitch that I know, is that Twitch is for gaming.
yeah, no. So now Twitch is like
Twitch is different now. Okay. Got it.
everything.
Got it.
Yeah, Twitch is everything. Like you
Okay.
name it, that is on Twitch. That category is on Twitch. So there is a health and wellness thing on Twitch. Like I guess on Thursdays you said sometimes it's just miscellaneous, but like have you ever like on Thursdays like at 7 p.m. Central Time I'm hosting a community workout live on Twitch, and then basically like it's you working out and then going through whatever the workout is, and people at home, like what's that one workout? Like Billy Blanks. I don't remember what it's called.
Tybo? Talking about Tybo? Like the VHSs? Billy Banks, Tybo?
Yeah, I don't think it's called that. I don't know if you remember what it's called. Do you remember what
I'm
it's called?
pretty sure that's what it is. Tybo?
No, it's not called that. It's called something else.
Insanity?
No, I can't remember. Anyways, it's called
I'm gonna
something
look it
else.
up.
But like where people just like kind of work out with you. So,
Like the Richard
and-
Simmons thing?
Huh?
The Richard Simmons dude? Who's always wearing like the onesie and the...
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's called Tybo. Taebo.
No, Billy Blanks is on. Is he
Yes,
on that?
yes.
thought it
I
was
just looked it
something
up
else.
because I remember I had the VHS.
Yeah, so like they just basically work along with you, and like that's their workout for the day too.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's another way to generate money because like they can sub to you and all this.
Is
other
it like
stuff.
subscriber based?
No,
almost?
so it's free to watch, but you can subscribe to support if you want to.
And they also have this
see.
thing called Twitch Nitro, which is like a subscription. Like if you pay $10 a month.
I use Twitch Nitro, and that's like how they get free ads, like ad-free viewing. So like they can be in the middle of a workout and a random ass ad could just pop up.
Oh damn.
But
That
like they
sucks.
sub to you, that ad goes away.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's not if they have Amazon Prime, like everybody has Amazon.
Right.
Everybody pretty much has Amazon Prime. If they have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub, so you don't have to spend any money.
Yeah, one per month.
You get
Oh,
one
that's
per
nice.
month. But if you don't have Amazon Prime, it's $5 a sub. If
That's
that's
sick.
like the lowest tier, then the second tier is like 15 or 10, and the next tier is like 15.
And you can really build community that way because there's like different tiers of subs. So like tier 1, tier 2,
And it
tier
tells you
3.
like tier 3 sub.
Yeah.
And
And you
tier
can
2
offer
sub, tier
like
1 sub.
certain things. So maybe like a tier 3 sub, maybe it's like a $25 subscription a month. But
Yeah.
with that, they get some kind of extra perk that you might offer. You know what I mean? Like, so that's definitely like another way if you ever have time. Cause I know, you know, it's just a lot when you're just managing so much, just trying to figure, and just also knowing when to pivot and whatnot. Cause
Yeah.
I feel like it's good to kind of lock in on something
Yeah.
and, you know, master that. And then knowing when it's like the perfect time to pivot to something
Right.
else instead of doing too much. And then you either burn yourself or opportunities, everything. Like,
Yeah.
like you said, like you dropped the cookbook and you had a
Yeah.
following, you know, and maybe when you first started, you could have dropped the cookbook, could have
Mm-hmm.
been the same quality, but it might have not sold nowhere near as much because you didn't have that
Right.
built up community and, you know, just brand recognition really too.
Yeah. I
as
think
well.
there's always like multiple ways of like scaling and just like I've always said that there it's not the lack of ideas and the lack of outreach that is the problem. The problem is that knowing when to do it because you already have so much going on, and it's like how to do certain things because it's like if your schedule is already so full, you know, it's like we talked about, it's like there's a time and place for everything. But there is, trust me, it is not a lack of not having ideas of how to scale. Like there's so many different ways and things that I would like to do, you know, but it's like there's only one me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Timing.
Yeah.
It is big.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if you thought about that, but I just
No,
it was
I
an
haven't.
idea-
No,
it was
I
an idea
haven't.
that I was like just thinking about while we're sitting here on the pod.
No,
'Cause,
and I
like,
think that's
it's
like-
I mean, it could be like your version of like the collective. They do the free workout,
The community
the community
workout.
Oh, the
workout,
community workouts,
and
yeah.
then like there's some people who just maybe can't afford to just you be the coach,
Right.
So they come to that community workout once a week or whatever the
Yeah.
case is, and then just. Obviously, it's always more audience that comes to you because that's Twitch is another fan base that you haven't even tapped into.
Yeah, no, I have
And it
not.
also gives you the opportunity to get your workout in for the day.
Yeah. I think when it comes to platforms, the next beast is definitely YouTube. That's where
Yeah.
I'm not at. And I feel like that's the next thing that I have currently going on.
Yeah, no, for sure. And YouTube, you fitness content is crazy because you have what's that guy's name? Sam. Yeah, so you have people like Sam Solik, who's like their traditional way of like YouTube content. Because like Bradley Martin was kind of like that back in the day, like when I was watching him in like middle school and high school. But now his is like more influencer centric. So like getting random characters into his gym or like random celebrities or
Right.
people from his pod to work out with him. But like Sam Solik, his is like super raw, like record him driving to the gym, record every single workout, every single rep, and then go home, record his meal prep. His videos are like 2 hours long.
That's insane.
But he has like 3 million subs and he got like 3 million in like the last 2 years.
That's
And it's just
insane.
like super raw, like
Yeah.
content and people
love
like
that.
it. So it's there's all kind of ways to go about
Yeah.
it, you know? So yeah. Anything else from you? Or,
No, just what can we expect for 2024? That's the last thing from me.
Honestly, just catch me on YouTube.
How about that?
Yeah, I think YouTube, like I said, I think it's going to
Okay.
be the next big thing.
Yeah.
Shorts, long form content. That's something that I haven't tapped into,
Yeah.
long form content.
yeah.
But the demand is definitely there.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, where you at?
Yeah.
Where you at? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm right here. Give me a second.
Just, I had
You
to
know?
do all this other stuff first.
I said,
Give me a
trust
minute.
me, I will get there. I said, but just give me some time. But I think definitely for 2024, I think YouTube is definitely the move.
Actually, another question for you,
Yes.
random.
Yes.
But how do you not? I guess not eat. I don't know if you even like it or not. But either how did you stop or how do you not eat so much Mexican food? Because it is good, but it's also very
I eat
unhealthy.
it.
It's very unhealthy. So
I
like,
eat it.
Yeah?
I eat it.
You-
I
yeah?
eat all of it.
Yeah. Is there like do you like change anything to like make it healthier? Or is it just
No,
it is what it is?
Portion
it is
control.
what it is.
Yeah.
If you're gonna eat Mexican food, you eat it as it is. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to change that to be healthy. Like,
yeah,
okay, no,
facts.
I think let me take that back. Content creators who
That's funny.
who post Mexican meal preps and stuff to make it healthy and stuff, they're gonna come for me. I support y'all. Okay, I support y'all, but. Yeah, I think
It's
that
not
there's
Mexican food at that point. Huh?
nah, like at this point, I'm like, nah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not really like, don't have this, don't have that, don't enjoy this. Like, that's not the way to live. How you gonna live?
Yeah.
You ain't. You know, it's like you have to balance it all. You know, so like if your diet consists 99% or 80% is like whole foods, that 20%. Eat the Mexican food, you know what I mean? Like I eat. Ask my mom. I go home, I'm grubbing. You know, ain't
Yeah.
no limitations. She's like, mírala. I'm like, girl, record me, post me. You know, I'm like, yeah, there's a balance to everything. But
Yeah, because I mean, it's I have it at least.
yeah, I mean, you gotta enjoy your
I have
foods.
a lot because I mean I'm Mexican. My girlfriend's parents are Mexican. So
Yeah.
whenever like 2 weeks ago, we had El Pastor,
Hell yeah.
bistec, chicken fajita.
Yeah.
We had all of it.
Yeah.
Her mom makes menudo all the time.
Yeah, that
like,
slaps.
I'm just like, how do you? Is there a way to just
And that's what I'm saying.
It is
like,
what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you just have to ensure that 99% of the time your diet is consist of whole foods. Like, make good nutritional choices every single day, and don't beat yourself up when you do eat that Mexican food, because that's not living. At that point you're just torturing yourself. Then why eat it? You're gonna feel bad afterwards. Why are you eating it?
Yeah.
In the first place, kind of don't make sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, once you find that balance, which is hard, but once you do, like, you start to be okay with eating things like that, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think he has a few questions for you as
Bert
well.
has a few questions
You
for
have a
you.
few questions for
It is your time to have the floor, sir.
I do have a few questions.
Yes, sir.
You have your Spotify playlist posted.
Oh
Is
my
that like your
gosh.
go-to for every workout, or do you like switch it up? Like,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So yeah, the Spotify playlist. That's a comment I get all the time. It's like, where's your Spotify playlist? I'm glad you found it. No, so that one. I definitely listen to right now. I don't know why the heck. What is it called? It's like, I don't even know what it's called. I need my phone, but it's like punk something, but it's like just like really hardcore. Like, I don't even know how to describe.
Like rock music?
No, not rock. It's like, I don't know, man. I have a playlist right now that I've been like, like kind of putting on repeat. But usually I listen to like, I don't know, Spanish music. It goes crazy, like from Spanish music to like hip hop to rap. No country, sorry, no country fan here. Like that thing gonna put me to sleep while I'm lifting.
Really?
Like, hell yeah.
Wow.
You think I'll be deadlifting to country
Well,
music?
not
Hell
deadlifting,
no.
but
Like, like hell no. I have to be listening to like I need
You need
something
some upbeat stuff.
I need something to be yelling in my ear.
Yeah.
If I think I'm gonna lift that thing off the floor, I need something to be yelling at me. And
Okay.
it's like, you gotta do it,
Okay.
so what's like your go-to song that you will guarantee you're always hyped?
Whoa. Okay. I don't know. I listened to, what is his name? XXX Tentacion.
Tentacion.
Oh my gosh. Like, he has these like 3 songs that just like, he's just yelling.
Yeah.
Like, I just put either one of those 3, like, and it's just like, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Honestly, there's not that one song. It's just always just, I always resort to him because he's literally the first thing that pops into my head. Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Like I said, I need to find that playlist, because that playlist, as of recently, like I resort to that whenever I'm trying to, get the shit done.
Gotta update the link tree.
I do gotta update it for sure. But yeah, sorry.
No,
Sorry,
you're
it's
good.
not updated.
No, you're good.
I will after this.
And then you had mentioned you're in the process of starting a YouTube channel. What's been
Yeah.
the biggest hurdle being consistent with that than
Yeah.
social media, Because you're so consistent with social, or like Instagram.
Yeah, so the thing is that I haven't even started yet. So it's like the biggest thing as of right, biggest hurdle that I've had so far is honestly trying to pick the right camera.
Okay.
Like, I am struggling so much
Yeah.
to just find a camera that I like. Like, I don't know anything about lenses. I don't know anything about cameras in general. So it's like super, I
Yeah.
know.
We can help you out.
But
with
like,
that.
it's so overwhelming. Like, it's so overwhelming. And there's like a specific type of style of content for YouTube that I want, that I'm like, how do people achieve that style? Is it
Okay.
editing? Is it camera? Is it lenses? What is it? So I'm in the process of doing that first. And that is the only reason why I have not even started, because it's like, I don't know what to get.
We'll have a conversation off
All
camera.
right,
I
bet.
got
Thanks.
you. I
Thanks.
got you.
I need the help.
And then what are like your 5 essentials in the gym bag that you always have to have them with you going to the gym?
Ooh, my gym straps, for real, my lifting straps. I don't got a gorilla grip, y'all. Like, I got weak grip. So like, I need my lifting straps for sure. That's one. My tripod, obviously, for obvious reasons. Let's see. Honestly, my barbell pad, because I'm always hip thrusting all the time. I'll be trying to grow this ass. So it's like, I need my roll, like to support me, because otherwise I'm gonna be bruised, So that's third. You said 5? That's a lot. My headphones. obviously. You know, you gotta listen to music. I never go to the gym without music. Like, if I ain't got no music, like, it's a bad lift, y'all. It's a bad day, y'all. It's not a good one. I wear the AirPods Max.
Yeah, those are nice.
I love them. Even
Yeah.
though they fall off my head every time. But I love them. And then fifth, I think, does the phone count? I should
Sure.
probably list something else besides the phone. My pre-workout.
Shout out Pro Mix.
Shout out Pro Mix, you know, but my pre-workout, the Florida Orange specifically, that.
Oh, I need to try that one. I haven't tried that
that
one.
was-
I'm on the strawberry lemonade right now.
Nah.
All right, I'll try that one.
You sleep.
Okay, bet.
Get that Florida Orange. It's
Bet.
so good.
I got you.
Florida Orange.
Florida Orange.
Yeah.
It's the best one. I don't care what anybody
I've
says.
had the yellow. I don't know what the yellow one. It's like some citrus flavor, and then I had the strawberry lemonade so far.
That one's fire too.
Yeah.
But nah, Florida Orange is the best one.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah. Pre-workout for sure.
And I got two more. So
All right, go for
next
it.
one is I saw you had a code for Flavor God.
Yeah, I do.
That, as far as like seasoning wise, not having a boring meal prep, what's your go-to seasoning from them?
Ooh. The butter. There's the cinnamon roll one that it's my favorite. It's my top. That cinnamon roll one, you can't put it in chicken, obviously, or rice or things like that. But like things like oatmeal, things like, I don't know, like honestly, any baking things that you're making, like just adding that on top, like that should just hit different, man. Like, it's the best seasoning. It's so good. I don't know what they put in it, crack or something, but it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, that's probably my favorite one for sure. They have other flavors too. They have like, they're super creative with their spices. I'm like,
What brand is this?
Flavor God.
Flavor God.
Yeah, like they have like ranch,
It's
They're
just like a
legit.
seasoning.
pizza.
A seasoning
It's just
company?
a seasoning, yeah. It's a seasoning company, but they're very clean. So like they don't add like anti-caking
Yeah.
ingredients and things like that, which is I don't know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they get very creative with their seasonings.
The seasoning I use, I don't know if it's clean or not, but it's called Kinder's.
Kinder's. Oh yeah, the one with the little. Is it black?
Yeah, it's black, a little old man. at the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah.
That one's
Okay.
fire.
Yeah, that was a good one. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was
He said, "Yeah, I'll put that in my chicken and rice."
fire. Yeah, I do everything
yeah.
back there. They have like a steakhouse. It's called Steakhouse. They have a lemon. They have like all the essential ones, and they have ones called like butter something. That one's
The money.
that
is
one's
good.
the money one. Yeah,
Dude,
That one's
honestly,
fire.
like spices is where it's at. Like if y'all having some issues, troubles, like making things taste good, dude, just add a whole bottle. Like don't even be scared. Like just add the
Like,
whole thing.
be
Add
generous with that seasoning.
At this point, like you're not even eating chicken, you're eating the seasoning.
I just picked up a Connie Southern one yesterday.
Dude, honestly.
Kinder has a Connie Southern one.
Dude, it's fire. Yeah, add seasonings to anything. That's the way to go. Don't be eating unseasoned things. Like, I don't know how people be doing that. I was gonna say something, but I ain't gonna say it.
I already know.
But yeah,
And then last one, the biggest piece of advice you could give to yourself going back when you first started.
oh, that's deep. We went deep real quick. I don't know. Probably take it easy. Take it easy. Don't take things so seriously. I think I was like in this, like when I first started creating content, I was like very, 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 very like in the zone. Like I did not go out. Like when I was trying to build my platform while I was at my full-time job, like it was unsustainable. Like I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. Like I was like, didn't go out. I didn't hang out with friends. I did not associate myself with anyone because I was so hyper focused on building and building and building and creating and creating and creating that I just like, in a way, I kind of lost myself. Like I was very stressed. I was crying every single day. It was very unsustainable because I was like trying to post every single day. This is when I had zero knowledge about anything, but I took things way too serious. You know, it was like, I wanted things to be perfect. I wanted things to look a certain way. And it was like, there was no leeway for me to mess up or, you know? And so it was very unsustainable for sure for 6 months. It was worth it because after the 6 months, that's when I saw the most growth. But during that 6 month period, I should have taken things a little bit less, not less serious, but just be flexible and allow yourself to make mistakes, which I didn't. But yeah, that's probably what I would have told myself. Take it easy. You still gonna get there, sis. Like, it ain't that serious. You know, you're still gonna get there. But yeah, that's probably what I would tell myself.
Cool. Anything else?
Do you?
No.
No. Last thing for me, which I kind of want to ask all of our guests going forward. Have you just taken a moment and just looked at everything that you've done in such a short time? Because you have a big following, such a small period of time. And, I mean, it's from what it sounds like, you're just busy all the time. You're just going, trying to do this, trying to do that,
100%.
Getting brand deals, and just always working. So have you ever taken a step back, just look at everything you've done and just take it all in?
Yeah, recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that post.
Yeah, that post.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, honestly, I'm a little embarrassed, but
No, that's real.
Yeah, it was so real. But recently, actually, I'm always in like go mode. Like I'm always working. Like I'm always like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I never really reflect. And when I do, like, I'm not so emotional about it. I'm usually like, okay, yeah, like that's great, you know? But there's something last week that just like hit a little different. You know, it's like I sat there and I was like, just to recap, I was kind of like calculating my finances for the month and stuff. And I was just like, you know, taking account, okay, this brand deal, my online coaching, the cookbook, and all these different outlets, right? And I was just like, sum everything up. And I hadn't done that before. Like I keep track of my expenses and stuff, but like I was just sitting by myself in my office and I was just like calculating, said normal day, okay? And I was just calculating stuff. And then I looked at the total, like my income, and I was like, I don't know what the heck happened. I like zoomed out in life. I don't know what the heck happened, but I literally took a whole like turn. I looked at my past. I looked at where I'm at right now, what I'm doing, and it all just hit me. It was like I got ran over by like 10 trucks, and I was like, damn, you know? And I started crying. I was just like bawling my eyes out. Like, it was so random. No one was in the house. I was just crying. And I was proud of myself in that moment. But I think it's the only moment that I've actually sat down and actually like, I feel like I allowed myself to really just take it all in.
Taking all in?
Yeah, because I think I definitely have not done that in the past like year. Yeah. For sure. But it was very, very, very impactful. And I don't know why the hell I got the courage to even post on Instagram. I was like, look at me, y'all, like I'm crying, you know? It's like, but it resonated with a lot of people, which I'm glad I did post that. It's not usually the type of content that I post, but it was very impactful. And it made me realize that maybe opening up a little bit more personally can be beneficial for sure.
Yeah, it makes you more relatable to like that person that is following you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they're like, oh, this person has like this amount of followers, like they might have like this ego or self-centeredness, but it's like, no, like I'm just like you. Like, you know,
100%.
So I feel like people resonate a lot with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. It's always good to look back and like,
it is.
Look at everything you did and just take a moment and appreciate what you've done for yourself and also the big thing, what you've done for others.
100%.
You getting all this money from the coaching, that just showing you that like you're making a difference in other people's lives because either A, they wouldn't keep coming back, or B, you wouldn't keep getting more people as you are. So that's the other good thing. And if you had it, I wanted to give you the time to just look at everything and
I said nah, because then I'm probably gonna start crying. I said I don't want to cry on this podcast. But yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I think I always like just hyper focus on the impact I'm trying to make on the community. Like obviously we all have selfish reasons to do things, and not to say that I don't think about them, but I think my focus has been the people and how can I be for the people, you know? And so taking time for myself to reflect for myself and for selfish reasons to think about my progress and how I've benefited, like I rarely do that. It's mostly like, and this is me not being like, you know, like, oh, like, I don't know. I'm being dead ass. It's like I am always for the people. So like sitting down that day and just looking at everything I did for myself, it was like, all right, this is cool. You know, I'm making an impact, but I'm also being compensated for it.
Yeah.
So
Congratulations. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's easy to keep busy and it's easy to not stop and smell the roses. So
Yeah.
I'm happy for you, and it's gonna keep going up.
I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all.
Of course.
Before we hit this off, do you have any last words? Good.
No.
And any shout outs you want to give or anything for us before we hit this off?
I don't know. Maybe shout out my mama.
Shout out,
Because if I don't, she gonna
too.
yell at me.
Yeah.
Shout out
Shout out
mama.
my mom.
Hey, without her, you wouldn't be here. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
honestly, no, I literally gotta give all my credits to my mom. Like,
Love
she
that.
is the reason why I've been so, like, all about, like, she planted a certain mindset in me that if it wasn't for her planting that in my head, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I'm doing right now. So yeah, shout out mom.
Oh, mama.
Shout out
Always there for
mom.
the
Love her.
mamas. Again, appreciate you taking time out your day.
course.
I mean, it means a lot, and I'm glad we're your first one.
Yes.
So that means a
Absolutely.
lot more too, as well.
Hopefully.
Hope you had a
Fingers
great.
crossed.
Yeah, I hope you had a great time.
I did have a great time.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
fun.
Thank you. Yeah. Again.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
of course.
inviting me.
No,
Yeah, of course. It won't be the won't be the
yeah,
last.
Won't be the
either.
last time for sure.
Yeah, we'll
won't be
definitely
the last time.
touch back. So.
Yeah. But that'll do it from the boys over here at Opinionated.
Well, hold on.
Oh.
My bad. Where can they find you at social media? -wise?
Social media, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, upcoming YouTube.
Okay.
But
TBD.
at Let's Get Fit.
Okay.
LESSS 3 S's dot.
You already got the username for
What?
YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
my
su- I
my
subbed
channel's
to
set
her.
up and everything ready to
Yeah,
go.
I su-
Yeah.
Yeah, I subbed
But that's
to
where
her
you can
already.
find me.
Alrighty.
My bad.
Well, no, you're good. That'll do it from the boys over here at Opinionated. We'll catch y'all guys next time. Peace.
Peace.